Good afternoon, Peter. My name is Brent Bradshaw, and today I'm extremely excited to be presenting you with the findings from my feasibility study that I've performed over the last 2 months on my new company, NewCo. Throughout modern day history, there have been a select group of companies that have challenged conventional thinking and ultimately changed the way we do things. This select group of companies offers various products and/or services that have become integral parts of our everyday lives. Apple introduced the world to the iPod and changed the way we purchase and listen to music. Google created an intelligent search engine that changed the way we look at and digest information, while Amazon created a global online marketplace that has changed the way we shop. NewCo plans to join this select group of companies by changing the way we look and contribute to philanthropy. For anyone who questions the importance of philanthropy and whether or not we should engage in charitable activities, I've provided a few statistics to consider. The number of children in the United States who live below the poverty line is 12 million. The number of Americans living in hunger or on the edge of hunger, 31 million. The number of people in the world that don't have enough to eat, 842 million. The number of people who die each year because their water's not clean, 3.4 million. And the number of people who die from cancer each year, 8 million. The reality is that every dollar that's contributed to a charitable cause, such as the ones identified above, makes a difference and ultimately helps the individuals who are directly affected by these areas. In many respects, philanthropy is somewhat misunderstood by the average person and considered to be a concept that's isolated to the wealthy class. This belief is fueled by the time constraints that are often experienced by individuals trying to find that appropriate balance between their work and personal lives, as well as a false perception that philanthropy is not easy to understand or engage in, and the false belief that individual contributions won't make a difference. What's the solution? NewCo will offer a solution to this by providing a global online marketplace where users can buy and sell goods with other users, where all transactional proceeds are donated to a charity of the seller's choice. In order to determine the feasibility of NewCo's product offering, I utilized the business model canvas as a strategic management template for developing the new product idea. Over the last 2 months, I've conducted detailed surveys and interviews on each of NewCo's key building blocks with individuals that I selected to assist me with this feasibility study, based on their relevant knowledge, expertise, and experience in this market space. Each individual proved to be an integral source of information and guidance to the various pivots that were made to NewCo's business model throughout this feasibility study and to ultimately NewCo's final product offering and associated value proposition. My original vision for NewCo has drastically evolved based on the research that I've conducted and the feedback that I've received over the last 2 months. I am extremely excited to present you with the findings from NewCo's feasibility study and look forward to any comments or questions that you may have. Now a little bit about my gurus. I was fortunate enough to secure 3 highly qualified individuals. Bob Armstrong joined Ritchie Brothers in 1997 as the manager of corporate relations. Subsequent roles included VP Internet Services and VP Finance, ultimately becoming CFO in 2004. In 2008, he became the company's Chief Operating Officer, and in 2012 was appointed to the new position of Chief Strategic Development Officer, where he was responsible for launching Ritchie Brothers Equipment One, which is an online marketplace that is designed for people who prefer to buy and sell equipment privately as opposed to the public auction format. Carl Warner joined Ritchie Brothers in 1996 as a territory manager in the Pacific Northwest. In 1999, he was appointed to regional manager, and in 2004 transferred to the company's corporate head office as a senior manager of strategic projects. In 2005, he was appointed to divisional manager auction operations and eventually vice president of auction operations in 2008. He now serves as Chief Auction Operation Officer and sits on advisory boards for various strategic partners, including UShip, the world's largest online transportation marketplace. Rob Goring oversees Tayo's corporate marketing and customer acquisition strategy. Prior to joining Tayo, Rob co-founded Contigo Systems Inc. in 2002, a leading provider of fleet management, asset tracking, and personal safety solutions. At Contigo, Rob led the marketing and product strategy, focusing on branding, marketing, customer acquisition, and product development. Similar to my gurus, I was very fortunate to secure 6 highly qualified individuals as my customers, each bringing a different perspective to the table. Oliver Picard, Vice President of Finance for Ritchie Brothers, Murad Shabir, Director of Business Systems for Ritchie Brothers, Michael Lynch, a property developer, Craig Pointer, a medical device sales manager for St. Jude, Chris Finks, owner of the marketing and branding firm Finks Inc., and finally Jeff Off, a marketing creative director. So what is the product offering and the value proposition? NewCo will provide users with the opportunity to buy and sell goods on a global online marketplace that's driven by the concept of philanthropy. For sellers, NewCo will unlock value in the goods that they are currently storing to allow them to sell these goods to other users in return for charitable tax receipts for donations made to the charitable organizations of their choice, and ultimately recognition for their philanthropic efforts. For buyers, NewCo will provide users with the opportunity to acquire desired goods at values that would be less than the values of the same goods purchased through traditional retail channels. Buyers would also know that each of the respective transactions was ultimately contributing to the greater good of society, as each transaction would help the environment by reducing global consumption, with all proceeds being donated to philanthropic areas. I am extremely confident in NewCo's revised product offering and associated value proposition, given the statistics, size, and trending that are associated with the 2 markets that are being targeted, i.e. in e-commerce and philanthropy, and the fact that no other company is currently addressing both markets using a combined approach. The e-commerce market is enormous and expanding each year, with estimates suggesting that e-commerce sales in the US are growing 10% annually and will exceed $240 billion based on transactions engaged by 189 million online customers in 2013. Similar to the e-commerce market, philanthropy is a massive, with an industry experts estimating that charitable donations made in the US reached $416.5 billion in 2013. NewCo has adopted a 2-sided customer segment strategy that focuses on contributors and value seekers, both of which are considered to be web-savvy, moderate to middle-income consumers. NewCo's contributors, the sellers, are not primarily motivated by selling their goods for incremental revenue, but are instead motivated to engage in philanthropic activities, with all transactional proceeds being donated to the charitable organization of their choice. NewCo's value seekers, the buyers, are looking for the opportunity to save money by acquiring used goods at values that are less than the same goods acquired from traditional retail channels, and may or may not be interested in seeking out goods on NewCo's marketplace, specifically because the transactions would help the environment by reducing global consumption, or because the associated benefits for charity. I have made the decision to focus on web-savvy, moderate to middle-income consumers, as this customer segment would likely be the most interested in NewCo's product offering and value proposition, based on the fact that these individuals are already familiar with and engaging in online transactions. In addition to this, they would likely not only be motivated to sell their goods for the purposes of revenue generation, given their robust socioeconomic positions, and the fact that they're likely open to donating proceeds from their respective transactions to a philanthropic cause of their choice. This assumption is further supported by the fact that these individuals represent the target source for charitable donations, the largest target source for charitable donations in the United States in 2013 at 75%. NewCo has adopted a low-cost, high-reach approach that will leverage both direct and indirect distribution channels. For the direct distribution channel, NewCo will begin by creating a simple, clean, and user-friendly website that effectively communicates the company's brand, value proposition, and core benefits. NewCo will then create a blog on its website that will clearly, consistently, and frequently update users with important messages, milestones, and happenings with the company. Finally, NewCo will focus on using various social media mediums, including Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube, with the overall goal of creating brand awareness for the company and driving potential users to the marketplace. With respect to indirect channels, NewCo will identify an appropriate celebrity spokesperson for the company who will be responsible for delivering a specific and consistent message that builds NewCo's brand awareness and ultimately creates user trust and confidence in the marketplace. NewCo will also partner with various charitable organizations who will execute their respective campaigns on NewCo's website adding credibility to the marketplace and the value proposition that NewCo is offering its users. Finally, NewCo will create an experience for its users that allows for the opportunity of a viral effect to take place as users discuss their experiences within the marketplace. With respect to customer relationships, NewCo will focus on building a loyal and active user community for both its contributors and its value seekers. NewCo's contributors will be connected by a desire to engage in philanthropic activities, while NewCo's value seekers will be connected by a desire to save money. NewCo will actively seek partnerships with existing charitable organizations and will engage in a celebrity spokesperson to be the face of the organization. NewCo will design and implement a robust user feedback system on its website that is based on best practices employed by other leading companies. And finally, NewCo will actively monitor its marketplace to ensure that transactions remain transparent, deliberate user abuse is dealt with immediately, and consistent concerns are addressed in a timely manner. NewCo will generate revenue from the following 3 revenue streams. First, transaction fees. NewCo will charge its users a nominal transaction fee, which will be based on a percent sliding scale approach that is set at a rate of 10% or less of the total transaction value that will eventually cap at a specific dollar amount. NewCo will aggressively work to attract web-savvy, moderate to middle-income consumers from the estimated 189 million online customers in the United States in 2013. For advertising, NewCo will provide companies with the opportunity to advertise their products, services on the website. NewCo will also provide philanthropic organizations with various sponsorship opportunities that will ultimately benefit NewCo's users base. Industry experts have estimated that the commercial advertising paid by companies for e-commerce sites in 2013 reached almost $16 billion. Finally, big data. NewCo will work to monetize the big data associated with user trade activity on its platform, while ensuring that the data remains anonymous and not personally identifiable. NewCo does not expect this to be a big revenue stream at the beginning, but as its user base grows, it does expect this revenue stream to grow also. Partnerships. NewCo will need to develop key strategic partnerships with many vendors and partners, including a marketing firm to assist with brand awareness, a website development and hosting company, an online payment vendor, tax and legal consultants, and a variety of companies that would be interested in promoting and offering their products and services to NewCo's user base. Resources. NewCo will require sufficient financial resources in order to provide the necessary capital for the anticipated startup costs associated with this company. In addition to this, NewCo will require effective human resources to ultimately develop and maintain the website and its marketplace, to develop a general marketing plan, and to deliver the necessary customer service and technical support requirements expected by consumers today. Key activities. NewCo will need to develop a platform prototype that is capable of creating and updating user profiles, processing transactions, and addressing user feedback and satisfaction ratings in order to allow NewCo to test and validate all required functionality before it's released to the public. It is critical that NewCo efficiently and effectively develops a customer acquisition strategy and an associated marketing plan that is capable of leveraging various low-cost social media mediums, including SEO. Cost structure. NewCo will need to incur various costs in order for its business model to work. However, the most significant costs will be associated with general marketing costs required to develop brand awareness, the customer acquisition costs incurred to create user confidence in the marketplace, and the various startup costs required to launch NewCo. The initial NewCo team will not receive a salary and will instead receive an equity position in the company. Each initial team member will have a particular specialization that they bring to NewCo in order to minimize the costs associated with third-party vendors and consultants. Competition. There are many competitors offering online marketplaces that provide users with the abilities to buy and sell goods to other users. However, these online marketplaces are focused on revenue generation as opposed to supporting philanthropic endeavors. In addition to these online marketplaces, there are various organizations offering online platforms that assist users with making donations to charities of their choice. However, these online platforms do not offer users the ability to buy and sell goods with other users. NewCo's online marketplace will offer its users the ability to do both by providing users with the opportunity to buy and sell goods on a global online marketplace that is driven by the concept of philanthropy. This will be a key competitive advantage over rivals in this market space. So, conclusions on NewCo's feasibility. Based on the work that I have conducted over the last 2 months surrounding NewCo's key building blocks, I am absolutely confident that I have made the appropriate pivots to create NewCo's final product offering and associated value proposition. Each of NewCo's key building blocks have been appropriately vetted, and all are considered to have passed the go, no-go test. I am extremely confident that NewCo's product offering and associated value proposition represents a viable business venture and a unique opportunity to contribute to the greater good of society. Therefore, my recommendation: I am recommending that you authorize me to prepare a full business plan on NewCo for presentation to yourself and the board in September 2014. As Warren Buffett once said, if you are in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. Let's seize the opportunity to make NewCo Marketplace a reality and change the world at the same time. Thank you.